What is global warming? Global warming, also known as climate change, is the gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. This could also be called the greenhouse effect. So what causes global warming? Global warming is caused when greenhouse gases and air pollutants collect in the atmosphere and absorb sunlight and solar radiation that have bounced off the Earth's surface. This could happen by burning fossil fuels. When fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas are burned, CO2 is released into the atmosphere, which causes it to be polluted.
Hazards of global warming. Global warming has shown to have a number of effects on the oceans. Some of those effects include rising sea levels due to thermal expansion, melting of glaciers and ice sheets, warming of the ocean surface, changes in agriculture productivity, decline in Arctic sea level.
Pollution refers to the addition of contaminating substances to the nature environment, resulting in a huge impact on the environment. Pollution can be of different types depending on the part of the environment that is getting polluted. Many animals are threatened, endangered, and even going extinct because of the pollution that is happening.
Light pollution. Light pollution is the excessive use of artificial light. This causes pollution of the night environment. It is caused by excessive lighting of the streets, light used in industrial area, and floodlights used in stadiums. The negative effects of light pollution include creating disturbances in the ecosystem and harming the health of living creatures. Here are what stars should look like if it wasn't for light pollution. Noise pollution. When the environment is filled with unnecessary or unpleasant sounds that are harmful for both animals and plants, it is called noise pollution. Transport vehicles, machinery, industries, loud music, people yelling are some of the most common sources of noise pollution. On the long term, this pollution can give rise to chronic diseases like cardiovascular diseases. Noise can also affect the psychological health of people. Air pollution. Air pollution refers to the release of pollutants like toxic gases, biological molecules, and particulate matter into the atmosphere. It is a mixture of solid particles and gases in the air. Examples of this could be car emissions, chemicals from factories, dust, pollen, and mold spores.
Water pollution is the contamination of water bodies by pollutants, usually as a result of human activities. For instance, toxic waste released by industries, pathogens released in sewage, harmful chemicals present in agricultural runoffs are some of the top water pollutants. A major volume of all pollutants produced on land end up in water bodies. The contamination of water can lead to wiping out the population of an entire species or even more than one species. Plastic pollution is the accumulation of plastic objects such as plastic bottles. Every year, thousands of animals lose their lives due to plastic pollution. It adversely affects Earth's environment, wildlife habitat, and humans. Most of the plastic waste generated in the world gather up in the oceans, where they cause great harm to the marine ecosystem. Throwing waste or substances that are not disposed of properly. Waste can include anything that is discarded by humans from bottles, glass, packaging material, electronic waste, metal waste, and more. When chemicals from such waste leach into the soil or enter the water bodies, they cause soil contamination and water pollution. These chemicals then enter the bodies of organisms to cause disease and death.
Prediction of how the future will be if the level of pollution continues. Predictions that scientists have made concerning global warming are extremely horrifying to the extent of suffocation. As years will soon pass by, we will come to a point where our skies become very foggy and our oxygen will become harder to breathe in. This is all due to human activities that raises CO2 levels in the Earth's atmosphere. According to scientists, if global warming keeps on going, the condition that we are currently in might be doubled in the upcoming year of 2050 and tripled by 2100. Temperature at that point might reach as low as 3 Celsius or as high as 6 Celsius. But what's more important is that global warming will soon block out the sun, leaving us cold in the dark and preventing us from growing crops and feeding livestock. Other major predictions. Sea levels will rise from 1 to 4 meters by 2100. More drought and extreme heat waves. Fewer frosts. Arctic likely to become ice-free. Hurricanes will become stronger and more intense. Change in precipitation, where spring and winter decreases in some areas, while it increases above the normal average in other areas. For example, having heavy rains.
Ways to stop global warming. 1. Planting trees since they can absorb CO2. 2. Turning off electronic devices or limiting them. If you turn off a device that you're not using, you could save up to thousands of pounds of CO2. 3. Recycling. Recycling half of your household waste will save up to 2 pounds of CO2 a year. 4. Using less hot water will save more than 500 pounds of CO2 per year, because heating water takes a lot of energy.
To conclude, Earth is under a dangerous threat. Pollution and other human activities are destroying it. Solutions should be done to rescue our Earth before total destruction and extinction of other organisms. Over 25,000 species have become extinct in the past half-century, and global warming is only responsible for 8% of it. Today's CO2 mass is 3 trillion tons. Humans are responsible for ruining the lives of plants and animals. That's why we should take matters into our own hands.